Hello students, welcome to online classes of Geography of class 11. I am proceeding with chapter number 5 and this is my second lesson of this chapter. The topics that I am going to discuss today is forest cover and then comes the conservation of the forest. So let us proceed with the first topic, forest cover in India. Now, according to the state records, the forest area covers 23.28% and the total area of the, that is a percent of the total area of the land. And it is important to note that we are having two things. One is forest area and the another one is actual forest. Now the forest area is the geographical area, the land surface that is actually present on the earth's surface, and forest cover is the image that we received from the satellite. That means how much is the greenery portion. Now just I am explaining it by using my whiteboard that what is forest area and what is forest cover. Now you can see this is a patch of land, okay, it is a forest patch. Now this entire is considered as forest area. This whole is considered as forest area, but due to deforestation only this half is having the is having that trees are present in this half, and this entire this zone is totally devoid of trees. Here the trees are not present, but here the trees are present. This land, this part is being deforested out, but this still it's left out, it's not yet been degraded by the deforestation. So this is termed as forest cover. This is termed as forest cover and this whole is termed as forest area. This entire area is the forest area, and only the patch that is having that I am using this red diagonal lines, this is only the forest cover area. So hopefully the concept should be clear that what is forest area and what is forest cover. So if we just see the difference between the forest area and forest cover, the forest area is the recorded land that is that can be irrespective of the existence of the trees, but actual forest area where actually the forest is present with the canopy, means the trees are present with the canopy. Now the forest area records has been kept by the state revenue departments, and the record for the forest cover is kept by the what we can say that by the satellite images, the aerial photographs or the satellite images. And the third one, the third difference will be forest cover is static. The area that is already being designated for the forest, it is same, it cannot expand, but forest cover may increase or may decrease. It will increase if there is afforestation, it will decrease if there is deforestation. So we got the 3 points of difference. The first one is that is the land which is irrespective of existence of trees, that is area, and the forest with the canopy is the cover. The state revenue departments keep the record for the forest area, and the satellite images, the aerial photography keeps the record for the forest cover. The forest area is a static one, it is a fixed one, and the forest cover is dynamic. It may increase or it may decrease. Now according to the state of forest report as per 2011, the actual forest cover in India is only 21%, and the forest cover we are having dense forest cover, open forest cover, the data are given over here. But the main thing is that forest area and cover vary from state to state. Now, why does it vary from state to state? If we just simply move to the northeastern part of our country, that is states of Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram, Nagaland, here there is a dense network of forest, okay? And if we move to the states of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, here the density of the forest is less, or the forest cover is less. Now, what does this indicate? Why it is so? Because northeastern states where the topography is rugged, where it is comparatively, what we can say, the climatic conditions supports the dense growth of the trees, and thirdly, it is does not having a high density of the population because of uneven topography and because of extreme wetty type of climatic condition. And if we move to Punjab, West Bengal, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, here the level land is there, the soil is fertile, the river banks are there, and it is good site for the agricultural plot. So, the population density is also very high, and that is why the land is being cleared out for the cultivable grounds. So, that is why here the forest cover and the forest area is less. So, due to physical factors, due to cultural factor, means the human factors, there is a variation of the forest cover and the forest area. Now, if we see, Lakshadweep has 0% forest area, and Andaman Nicobar is having 89% of that, whereas most of the states, 10% of the forest area is there in the north and northwestern part of the country. Now, why it is being said that Lakshadweep is having a 0%? Lakshadweep is having a 0% of the forest area. Now, what does this indicate? That the entire island group is a coral origin, and coral means it is having excessive calcium concentration, which is not beneficial for the growth of forest. So, as a result, for the growth of the vegetation, for the growth of the trees, so as a result, it is not being designated as a forest area. But if we move to the Andaman Nicobar Island, it is volcanic in origin, and it is giving a support to the dense growth of vegetation because of its soil structure. So, thus wise, due to its soil structure, the forest area is not there for the Lakshadweep, and forest area is large for the Andaman Nicobar Island groups. Now, we will classify the next, we will classify the whole country. We are proceeding to the next topic, that is classification of India on the basis of the actual forest cover. The whole country will be classified according to the forest cover into 4 categories: high concentration, that is more than 40%, medium concentration ranging between 20 to 40%, low concentration 10 to 20%, and very low concentration, that is less than 10%. So, the whole country is classified into into 4 categories. High concentration above 40%, like I said, Andaman and Nicobar Island group will be the best example. Even we are having the northeastern states like that of Meghalaya, Mizoram, that may cover under this category. Then we will move to the part of the second one, the region of the medium concentration, where we can find out the that is peninsular India, the part where the forest cover is ranging between that is 20 to 40%, that is Dadra and Nagar Haveli. Then the other states are, except Dadra and excluding Tamil Nadu and Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Goa, the rest of the states are coming under this category, like Karnataka, Kerala, then Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Maharashtra, all comes under this category. Next comes the region of the low concentration, that is 10 to 20, where we are having the forest cover, that is the forest cover Tamil Nadu and West Bengal, it is there coming in this category. Then comes the region of very low concentration. The very low concentration is there in the northwestern part, northern part, that is Jammu and Kashmir, and even it is there in the Rajasthan region. So these are some of the examples. The table is given just below that, where you can find out, the table is there where you will find out that which are the states having the highest forest cover and which are the states where having the lowest forest cover. So from this appendix you can prepare the chart for the 4 categories of the forest cover of the entire country. Now next, continuously the forest resources are used extremely by the human society. So for this, the degradation of forest is a resultant. So now the government has introduced a new forest policy which implemented in the year 1952 with the emphasis of the sustainable development of the forest resources. Now what is its basic objectives, or what are its basic objectives? Number 1, to bring the entire forest cover under the percentage of 33, that is the area under 33%. Then we have to restore the forest without disturbing the ecology. That means we have to maintain the environmental stability. We have to conserve the natural heritage, and we have to also conserve the diversity of the biological and the genetic diversity. We have to check the soil erosion. Then the forest cover, we have to proceed with the social forestry and afforestation on the degraded land. Now social forestry I am going to discuss just in the next portion only. Next, increasing the productivity of forest. We have to increase the productivity of the forest to make timber, fuel, fodder and food available population dependent on forest, and to encourage the substitute of the wood. Now if excessive timber is being used, that means it is resulting into deforestation. So we have to find out the substitute of the wood, and then we have to spread awareness about the degradation of the forest, and we have to just involve women to encourage that is planting of trees, and that is making aware about the people, and so that they can stop that is lopping the trees or just cutting out the trees, so that the burden on the existing forest will be reduced. So these are some of the objectives of the forest policy that was initiated by the Indian government. Now next comes forest and life uses of the forest. Now what are the importance of the forest? First of all, a vast number of the tribal people, they reside on it, and they earn their, that is their habitat place, and they earn their livelihood. So it is very important. Then it not only provides us food and fruits, it also supports us lots of raw materials for the forest based industries and many more important things. Then it provides material to build houses, that means the timber and various other artifacts. Then the importance of the tribal is there for the tribal economy, and if the forest is degraded, then these tribal society will become extinct. We have to develop a harmony between the nature by conserving the tribal communities. Now out of total of 593 districts, 188 have identified as a tribal districts. Okay, so if the forests are continuously degraded, then obviously these tribal districts or these tribal society will also move to the extinct categories. Now next we will move to the social forestry. Now what does this mean? What is actually social forestry means? It means the management and the protection of the forest, and how? By doing the afforestation activity where? On the barren lands, on the degraded lands, so that we can enhance the environmental condition and we can develop the social and the rural areas, society and the rural areas. Now the National Committee of Agriculture in the year 1976 has classified the social forestry into 3 categories. Number 1 is urban forestry, number 2 is rural forestry, and number 3 is a community forestry. Now what is urban forestry? Now hopefully you have heard about the green belts. Now urban forestry means the development of the green zones. Now, normally the recent time, the multiplexes, all the multi-storied buildings, the big housing complex, they are giving the advertisements that the housings are having the green zones. So, what does this indicates? That they have cultivated the trees so that it gives a greenery appearance for the environment, and it is giving a good environmental conditions for that urban site. So, the parks, the roadside avenues, the industrial complexes, the green belts. Now, you have studied in class 10 that the thermal power plants, they have taken a step to develop the green belts surrounding the thermal power plants. That means to enhance the environment that is degraded due to the pollution created by the thermal power plants. So, this is urban forestry. Next is rural forestry. Now, rural forestry is having that is two things. We are having agroforestry and we are having community forestry. Now, what is agroforestry? Now, agroforestry means when agriculture is combined with the forestry activities. Now, what does this indicate? Suppose the plot of the agriculture and surrounding that it is being cultivated with the trees. So, we are doing the part of agriculture and simultaneously we are doing the part of forestry. We are getting the timber, we are getting the fodder, we are getting the fruits from the trees, and simultaneously the cultivable lands are giving us the crops. So, when the combination of forest and agriculture is there, that is termed as agroforestry. Next, it is community forestry. Now, community forestry means now we are having the railway tracks, we are having the river sides, we are having the temple area, we are having the pasture grounds, we are having the canal areas which is there for the rural areas. So, along by the that is beside the railway tracks or beside the temple areas or the roadsides or what we can say the canal areas, if we continuously grow the trees, all these are being used by the community. So, if the trees are cultivated or if the trees are planted along these areas, so it will increase the forest area, it will enrich the environmental condition, and simultaneously we will be able to use the products that we are going to gather from these forested areas. So, this is community forestry, and another one is farm forestry. Now, the farm forestry, there are many landless farmers. Now, the landless farmers are basically they are being restricted by their landowners. So, what they can do when they are not having their any jobs, they can grow the trees on the barren grounds. So, when they are growing the trees on the barren ground which is not cultivated for the crops, so they can gather their livelihood from that particular plot of the land that they have grown it for the forest. So, that is termed as farm forestry, where the farmers grow trees for the commercial and the non-commercial purpose. I said for the non-commercial purpose, that is the poor farmers and the landowners or the farmers that they can grow it along with their cultivable plot, that is for the commercial farmers, for the commercial purposes. So, this is all coming under the category of the social forestry. So, now what is the main thing that forest departments, they have started distributing the seedlings of the trees of free cost, that is they are not costing any sort of money for this seedlings, and the small to the small and the marginal farmers. So, as a result they are able to acquire their livelihood from this social forestry also. So, now I have completed the entire topic of today's discussion. I discussed about the that is the features of the forest area, forest cover, the difference between it, why does it varies from place to place. Secondly, it was the that is what are the objectives of the forest policy that was introduced under the concept of forest conservation, and lastly what is social forestry and what are its type. So I have completed the topic for today's discussion. If you are having any problem, just without any hesitation, mention it in the comment section, and thank you for following my class. Have a nice day.